Very warm welcome to Game On. I'm Neha Bhardwaj-Otter, and today we begin with cricket. Yes, just days after a second-string Indian team led by Shubman Gill defeated Zimbabwe 4-1 in a T20I series, the BCCI selectors and the new head coach Gautam Gambhir are expected to name another squad for the upcoming white ball tour of Sri Lanka. The series comprising 3 T20 internationals and 3 ODI matches. They'll be split between Pallekele and Colombo and is expected to see the return of several regular Team India members. The question is who and how many? According to various reports, Gautam Gambhir has requested senior players such as Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Ravindra, Jadeja and Jasprit Bumrah to not take any rest currently and instead make themselves available for the 3 one-days in Sri Lanka. Gambhir is reportedly not a fan of long breaks and wants players playing as many formats as possible, which also brings into focus the issue of workload management, as well as all-rounder Hardik Pandya reportedly asking to be rested for the ODI leg of the tour due to personal reasons. Now, India have only 6 scheduled ODIs before the Champions Trophy in February of next year, which could be why Gambhir has apparently stressed on all first-choice players being available for this series. Added to that is the fact that after the Sri Lanka tour ends, the Indian team has over a month's break before the start of its home test season. If, however, the likes of Rohit and Kohli are not part of the ODI squad for this tour, then the BCCI selectors need to name an interim captain and then number 3 batter. The leading candidate for the ODI captaincy, according to some sources, is KL Rahul, with doubts over whether Rishabh Pant will go to Sri Lanka given he's played non-stop cricket since he made his return from injury for the IPL. It also remains to be seen whether Gambhir, as the head coach, prefers to go back to Suryakumar Yadav and Sanju Samson in ODIs, or will he stick to middle-order options such as KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. Rinku Singh and Yashasvi Jaiswal, they are the 2 leading contenders to be added to the ODI squad if seniors are rested, as is left-arm pacer Arshdeep Singh, who was India's leading wicket-taker at the T20 World Cup. Now, if Jadeja is also given a break, then Akshar Patel should be the one to get the chance to audition for the spin bowling all-rounders role in ODIs. As far as the T20 squad is concerned, with the trio of Rohit, Virat Kohli and Jadeja rested and Pant looking at more time away, it seems as if players from the Zimbabwe tour will get more chances, namely Shubman Gill, who finished as the leading run-getter of the series with 170 at an average of 42 in his first assignment leading the senior team. Jaiswal, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Abhishek Sharma, Shivam Dube, they'll likely get the nod in this, while from the bowler side, Ravi Bishnoi, there's Mukesh Kumar and Avish Khan. They are prime candidates to play in Sri Lanka. Even Kuldeep Yadav and Arshdeep possibly could be returning to claim their spots. Now, India need to name a new T20 captain, with Rohit Sharma having retired after winning the T20 World Cup in the West Indies. And the leading names are Hardik Pandya, who did the job well when Rohit was away for almost 15 months and played a crucial role in the final of the World Cup. Throughout the World Cup, in fact, he was good. And then there is Suryakumar Yadav, whose leadership skills reportedly impressed the dressing room when he briefly led in a couple of series in 2022 and 2023. So it will come down to that. Hardik Pandya versus Suryakumar Yadav for the T20I captaincy, and what could go against Hardik Pandya and be in favor of Suryakumar Yadav is the fitness concerns with Hardik Pandya. He's been in and out of the team due to injuries, and that could be one of the reasons. But also remember, Suryakumar Yadav also got back from a sports hernia injury just a few months ago. So it'll be interesting to see who the new coach and BCCI and the selectors would go for as the T20I captain. Now, India all-rounder Hardik Pandya received a warm reception on his return to home city Vadodara for the first time after becoming T20 world champion. A roadshow was organised to welcome Hardik in Vadodara on Monday to celebrate India's T20 World Cup triumph. Pandya was the vice-captain of the Indian team in the mega event and had a memorable campaign as he scored 144 runs in 6 innings at an average of 48 and a strike rate of 151.57. He also played a crucial role with the ball for the team and filled the position of the third pacer in the West Indies leg very well. He claimed 11 wickets in 8 games at an average of 17.36 and an economy rate of 7.64. But it was the final where he changed the game with the ball, claiming the crucial wickets of Heinrich Klaasen, David Miller and Kagiso Rabada to help India lift the ICC trophy after 11 years. The T20 World Cup turned out to be a moment of redemption for Pandya, who was booed in every stadium across India during the IPL this season after he replaced Rohit Sharma as a captain of Mumbai Indians. The star all-rounder, who was just making a comeback into the game after suffering an injury to his ankle in the 50-over World Cup last year, became a victim of online trolling as well during IPL as his team finished at the bottom of the points table. All right, on to football. And England manager Gareth Southgate has resigned after a second consecutive European Championship final defeat. The Three Lions lost 2-1 to Spain in Berlin on Sunday, having been beaten by Italy on penalties at Wembley 3 years ago. It ends an 8-year reign as Three Lions manager, having first taken the role on a permanent basis in November 2016. The 53-year-old managed his country for 102 games in 8 years in charge, earning 61 victories, 17 losses and 24 draws. That's a win percentage of 59.8%. Southgate ranks third from all-time victories as England manager, and only 2 previous England managers have taken charge of more matches than him. Both of England's runs to the European Championship final have come under Southgate, with no men's manager ever managing to do so. Of managers to manage over 50 matches for England, he has the third highest win percentage. In that time, Southgate took England to the finals of Euro 2024 and Euro 2021, the semi-finals of the 2018 World Cup and the quarter-finals of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. A number of high-profile managers are in the frame to replace him. Graham Potter seems to be the bookmakers' favourite. Potter has been out of work since leaving Chelsea in April last year. Eddie Howe, Mauricio Pochettino, Pep Guardiola, as well as Jurgen Klopp. These are some of the other names doing the rounds. Now, Southgate has spoken via the Football Association website to the fans. This is what he said. He said, and I quote, "As a proud Englishman, it has been the honour of my life to play for England and to manage England. It has meant everything to me and I have given it my all, but it is time for change and for a new chapter. The squad we took to Germany is full of exciting young talent and they can win the trophy we all dream of. I'm so proud of them and I hope we can get behind the players and the team at St. George's Park and the FA, who strive every day to improve English football and understand the power football has to drive positive change." Okay, now the team that defeated England. The Spanish men's team arrived back on home soil on Monday after their Euro 2024 triumph and celebrated by parading through the streets of Madrid in an open-top bus. Luis de la Fuente's side were greeted by tens of thousands of cheering Spaniards as they made their way around the city to Plaza de Cibeles to present the trophy. Spain defeated England 2-1 on Sunday, with substitute Mikel Oyarzabal grabbing an 86-minute winner after Nico Williams had opened the scoring just after half-time. Look at the crowds there. La Roja were convincing champions, winning all 7 of their matches on their way to lifting a record-setting 4th European title. While pundits praised the team's exciting style of play on the pitch, Many Spaniards have applauded the diverse team's off-the-field impact, fostering unity in a country with a history of regional tensions and political polarizations. Take a look at that. A Spanish team full of young players. We all know how well Nico Williams, how well Lamine Yamal played for their country, and it's a glorious moment for Spanish football and for this young team. Luis de la Fuente has to be credited as well for nurturing this team, for understanding the role of each and every player in this team. There are several players from this side who he has coached in under 19, under 21, under 23, and he seems to have a good rapport with some of these players, and you could see that rapport, that understanding on the field as well. Spain being the one team that played like a team, and here we are as a result. Spain, the champions of Europe. Now, in Madrid's iconic Cibeles Square, on Monday, fans gathered to celebrate Spain's record-setting championship with the players leading the crowd in chants of Gibraltar is Spanish. This is interesting now. The status of Gibraltar, an enclave at the southern tip of Spain that has been under British rule since the 18th century, and how to police the border with Spain have been points of contention since Britain voted in 2016 to leave the European Union. Spain ceded the outpost, famed for its towering rock, to Britain in 1713, but has long called for its return. Waving flags and dressed in Spain's red and yellow colors, tens of thousands of people greeted the champions after an open-top bus parade through Madrid. As Spain won the Euro title in Berlin, Carlos Alcaraz won his second Wimbledon trophy. Another Spaniard to get to the top of Wimbledon and tennis. He threatened, in fact, to end the era for Novak Djokovic, defeating the Serbian for the men's singles crown at the Wimbledon. Now, Spain's another sporting hero, Rafael Nadal. He teamed up with Casper Ruud of Norway to win the men's doubles title at the Nordea Open in Bastad, Sweden. The 22-time Grand Slam champion then hailed the success of Alcaraz and the Spain team. He said, and I quote, "Well, great. I think the Spanish team played an amazing Euro Cup. Since the first day to the last, we are very proud, the whole country, about what they did. Had been a very happy day yesterday too, with Carlos winning Wimbledon. So yeah, it was an amazing day for Spanish sport, and I think sport generates passion and motivation to people, and that's good for the country without a doubt." Earlier, a heartbroken English team arrived home after defeat to Spain in the final. The team suffered a second successive Euros final defeat after failing to beat Italy in 2021. England lost in the tournament's showpiece match for the second time in a row under Southgate after a substitute, Mikel Oyarzabal. He scored an 86-minute goal to give Spain victory. With only the 1966 World Cup to their name as a major trophy, England have become a force in tournaments since Southgate took over the team at a low ebb in 2016, but haven't been able to win a silverware. And as you can see, disappointed fans, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane. It was a team of superstars. Many expected them to do well, but unfortunately for the English fans and for this team, they couldn't cross the final hurdle. Many say this was a tired team. They'd all played a full season of football, and towards the end, in the Euros, that showed. Unlike a Spanish team, which was oozing with young talent, this was a team of tired superstars, and clearly Spain showed what it takes to win the final over superstars like that. France captain Kylian Mbappe may not have had a good Euro, but he passed his medical test at Real Madrid on Tuesday before his official unveiling at the Bernabeu Stadium. Mbappe signed for Real Madrid as a free agent on a 5-year contract after leaving Paris Saint-Germain. The 25-year-old joins a star-studded side in Madrid with the likes of Ballon d'Or favourites Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, led by Italian Carlo Ancelotti, the most successful coach in Champions League history with 5 titles. You can see him wearing 9 on his jersey. 10 belongs to Luka Modric, and as a sign of respect, he went with 9 instead of 10. Argentina's football team, they returned to a hero's welcome from fans in the city of Azizia late on Monday after winning the Copa America tournament in the U.S. city of Miami. People waited for hours and lined the route of buses transporting the players from the airport to the Argentine Football Association compound. Some fans came out to bid farewell to player Angel Di Maria, who announced he would be retiring from the national team. But yes, this was a huge win for Argentina and for Lionel Messi, who had already said that this was going to be his last Copa America. He may not have played a big role in the final, being hurt, being injured due to an ankle injury. But Argentina showed how dominant they've been in last few years in winning not just the last World Cup, but they were the defending champions of Copa America, and to come and defend the title when Messi wasn't his 100%. It's a huge achievement for Argentina, and to think that they've done it the 16th time. The final of the Copa America between Colombia and Argentina, though, was marred by violence. It was tarnished by violence and chaos at the entrances of the Hard Rock Stadium after thousands of fans tried to get in, which delayed the start of the game. You can see on one side of the screens, on the left side, those are fans trying to get in who had legitimate tickets, whereas on the other hand, you can see fans trying to go over the roof to get into the stadium. Now, this delayed the start of the game, and Miami authorities were overwhelmed by a large number of Argentinian and Colombian fans. So the mayor of Miami, Daniela Levine Cava, pointed out that the South American Football Confederation, that's the CONMEBOL, they were the organization responsible for guaranteeing the security of the event, something that did not happen. After a silence that lasted several hours, CONMEBOL issued an official statement through its website where it disassociated itself from the incidents at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. CONMEBOL, they said, was subject to the decisions made by the Hard Rock Stadium authorities in accordance with the contractual responsibilities established by the security operations. Now, CONMEBOL suggested security procedures such as setting up an outer perimeter to screen ticketless fans had not been followed by the organizers. Fans without tickets went to the vicinity of the stadiums, which delayed the normal access of the people who did have them. It slowed down the entry and determined the closing of doors. The Copa America has been marred by earlier incidents off the pitch. On Wednesday, Uruguay players were involved in a brawl with Colombian fans in the stands after their 1-0 semi-final defeat. On to Paris Olympics now. With just 10 days away, Paris authorities on Monday said they were confident the Olympic triathlon and open water swimming events could be held in the city's Seine River, with Deputy Mayor Antoine Guillot telling Reuters that water conditions had improved significantly. Take a look at that story.
Paris officials say they are confident the Seine River will be usable during the Olympic Games this summer for athletes competing in the triathlon and open water swimming events. The French capital has been trying to clean up its iconic river, which weeks ago showed concentrations of bacteria like E. coli far above levels allowed for bathing. Athletes were allowed to compete in the Seine over a century ago in the 1900 Games. Deputy Mayor Antoine Guillou told Reuters on Monday that he was hopeful.
Since we've had much more favorable conditions in July, we have actually had a very satisfactory number of days every week in terms of swimming quality, so we're pretty confident. The conditions nevertheless remain a challenge since the flow of the Seine is very significant, 3 to 4 times greater than the norm in this season, and so this also has an impact, since pollution, when it happens or when there is a risk of it happening, is likely to arrive more quickly in Paris and to have less time to decay naturally with the ultraviolet rays of the sun.
The city says its public waterworks has been conducting water checks around Paris every day. A team of dozens of workers are often seen at the riverbanks to detect sewage leaks or instances of wastewater reaching the river. And where rainwater storage facilities are built to stop sewage overflows, they say they've set up more ways to treat the water. Over the weekend, the sports minister even took a plunge to try and show the water is safe. However, if it's not clean enough to swim on the day of competition, Olympic organizers say they have contingency days to reschedule. If the backup days don't work out, they say marathon swimming will relocate to a reserve site and the triathlon will change to a duathlon instead.
With that, time for us to say goodbye. But before we go, grand fireworks and drones display around the Eiffel Tower capped Bastille Day celebrations in France on Sunday with a nod to the coming Olympic Games. The 2024 Olympic Games will take place in Paris from July 26th to August 11th. And we're all gearing up for it. You can get all the latest, which are the players who are participating from India, what are the new sport disciplines that have been added. We'll tell you all of that in our show tomorrow. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.
$20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
This is News 9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News 9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
Who am I?
Nobody can crack that mystery.
There is a certain expectation of me.
That's the only contradiction.
Life itself is stranger than fiction.
I was a perfectly normal person born in an abnormal world.
I really didn't understand why is it different.
Just imagine a child who is bullied every day.
Boys school में कुछ लड़का लोग मेरे साथ sexual abuse किए.
मुझे तेरे बारे में सब पता है और मैं तेरा रेप कर लूँगा.
You also start to stigmatize.
अरे ये तो time pass है.
Sex doesn't come in the picture. Sex comes very late. Then there are man-made narratives.
Why do you walk like that? Why do you sway so much? So you can understand the trauma of a person who's trapped in a wrong body.
But nothing can bind life.
We have to reclaim the lost position. We fought for more than 10 years.
Today I'm the mother of the industry.
I'm a first transgender member judge.
You can't walk in everybody's shoes.
This is what I'm comfortable with. They just are what they are.
You become the light yourself.
That is the change that I was looking for.
When I recognize myself, it's a small story, but it's an interesting one.
The US Secret Service had one job, to protect Donald Trump, and they failed. It's the service's worst performance in decades, and has raised questions on the agency's competence to protect its principals from simple threats like lone amateur gunmen. How did the US Secret Service fail to protect Donald Trump? News 9 Plus decodes. The US Secret Service protects American presidents and former presidents. Donald Trump has been protected by the US Secret Service for close to a decade. So what went wrong this time? Here are the 5 ways in which the US Secret Service bungled. 1. The Secret Service cordon is supposed to sanitize the area around where its protectee is speaking. This includes posting agents at vantage points and scanning the area for threats. Yet, it allowed 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Brooks to take up a firing position just 150 meters away from Donald Trump's podium. 2. The shooter was in an exposed firing position, which means he was in the open. He was even spotted by bystanders as he took position. 3. The US Secret Service counter-snipers were on an elevated platform. They had sniper rifles and powerful binoculars, but missed seeing the shooter on the open rooftop with an open line of sight to Trump's podium. 4. The shooter fired multiple shots from his AR-15 style assault rifle at Trump. 1 bystander was killed and 2 others were critically injured. And 5. Trump was saved only because he involuntarily tilted his head. He ducked to avoid the following shots. Secret Service snipers shot the shooter after he fired the shots. This is the worst performance of the Secret Service since the March 1981 assassination attempt on President Ronald Reagan. A lone gunman fired 6 shots at Reagan, critically wounding him. The US House of Representatives has summoned Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheetle to testify before it on the 22nd of July. Will we see a complete overhaul of the agency?
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with it?